Hi guys, thanks for tuning back in for part 2 of the rainbow cake. So first of all, I'm going to add in my butter to my stand mixer. I'm going to use a paddle attachment and I'm going to whisk that for a good 10 to 15 minutes. The longer the better really. I've got 1 kilogram of butter in there, so that's going to do my whole cake and the extra for the frosting at the end. So the longer you put it on for, the whiter the butter will be and the smoother it will be in the end. After it's been on for 10 to 15 minutes, you add in your icing sugar. I'm using 1.75 kilos of icing sugar. And I'm also adding in some vanilla extract in there, and then I'm going to put it back on for a little bit. It is a little bit much to fit in one batch at a time, but you need that extra bit just to get the frosting at the end. I've also added in some white food coloring, which just takes the yellowness off the buttercream and gives you that nice white finish. After that, we're going to take the sponges out of the freezer. They've just been in there for the past couple of days. It keeps them fresh, it keeps them moist, and then we're going to cut them all down to size. I also trim the tops off just to make sure that they're all level, which you can see me doing there. And then I'm going to start stacking them up. So I add on the buttercream in between each layer, just making sure that they're all nice and level and making sure that they're all nice and straight around the edges. I'm going to add on a bit of extra buttercream. I'm going to get that crumb coat done. We don't want any crumbs in our final coat, so this just makes sure that it's all nice and steady. After I've done the crumb coat, I pop it back in the freezer for about 15 to 20 minutes just to firm that outside up. Make sure that we don't get any crossover in between the crumb coat and the outer coat. And then now I've been smoothing the edges and filling in any gaps. Just scrape the top off, giving it a nice finish, and then I'm going to move on to the rainbow frosting for the top. Whilst I'm doing this, the cake's back in the freezer just to get firmed up again, and I'm using the Colour Mill colouring. As I've said before, that's the best one for me. I always find it's loads better. So I'm popping this in a piping bag. There is another video on my page which will show you how to do this more clearly, and I'm using the Wilton 4B piping nozzle for this one. We're going to do a shell border around it, but while I've got that done, I'm going to move on to the chocolate drip. We're doing a few different colours for this one, so I've chose the candy in the Colour Mill, and we're also going to do the purple and the blue. Alright, so you get those ready and then start piping on. The more pressure you put onto it, the bigger drip you'll get. Obviously, the less pressure you put on, the smaller drip you'll get. Now, because the cake's frozen on the outside, it's really cold, it'll set pretty quick, so it's a good idea to get this done pretty quick. And it also helps to make sure that drip doesn't go too far down. Now I've moved on to the piping across the top. This will cover up the chocolate that you would see on the top, so it just goes underneath the piping. And I'm going to do a shell border around the bottom as well, and you can see that it comes out beautiful. And that just leaves the boxing up, and we need to pop an allergen label on there, and then we're all done. So thank you guys for watching, and stay tuned and follow for more hints and tips. Thank you.